然后所以我的道具是一根毛笔，对，
大龄甜妹。Hello， 大家好，我是郭品超，我在《一品聊》里饰演的是古希。道具这个是
就去晦气的那个柚子。
晦气。
我不是，这个是不是何意啊？这个是。
我们古希明明是大龄甜哥，
甜哥甜妹，
甜哥甜妹。
刚刚现场有一个撒娇做实
哇！
撒娇哥，
要不要给观众朋友们？刚刚在现场没看到的朋友们演示一下。
再来一遍。
哇！开场就给个炸的。
我刚刚是觉得是被逼到绝境，我觉得好像你不知道会炸出来。
来一个，
绝境，现在
来一个。
顾平常老师展示一下绝境，来，
现在吧，这一会
来个新的版本也可以。
我喜欢这个
这个来，
刚刚是怎么说的
？OK， 出话了。
最后那个动作一定要有啊，那个腿的那个一起来。
大家快来支持玉婷瑶，看我洗坏坏啊！动了！没有动。
大家想知道发生了什么的，这个场面和我们应该玉婷瑶
难怪能到右上的位置。
真的劲儿太大了，有过人之处。
上你看高兴了吧？他是每天都给你这样。
原来如此。
今天我们顾平超老师这个版本，我们6位都有自己的这个撒娇，所以大家可以去多支持一下，我们热搜上面见，好不好？来，那我们直接
哇
Hello， 大家
都撒娇了。
对，
男人撒个娇怎么了？
我不知道我撒娇说什么，
都可以。
不知道你舞跳的那么好，
我知道
是吧？
凡事都叠字。
来教学一下，
大家来看玉婷瑶呀。
来一个
一来就来个炸的，
来炸的，
来狠的，
来个狠的，来个狠的，
这样来个狠的，
来炸的。
The promotion of Royal Betrothal Part 3 shows a different side of the cast. If previously the promotional atmosphere was more colored by the introduction of drama and interaction between players, this time the conversation developed into more serious when they discussed the characters, how to build emotions, to the pressure felt during the filming process. In the midst of a relaxed atmosphere and full of jokes, the cast actually showed how detailed they thought about the characters played. One of the most interesting discussions came up when they did a game based on the character's personality through the MBTI test. In the game, the cast must answer questions as if they were their respective characters. One of the questions discusses how a person deals with enemies and whether they can wait before taking revenge. The answers of the players then became the subject of jokes as well as opening a discussion about the nature of their characters. There are characters who are portrayed as more spontaneous and are not able to wait too long when they have determined the action. There are also characters who tend to consider circumstances before making decisions. The simple game eventually led them to a more serious talk about the character's journey in Royal Betrothal. One of the characters that received considerable attention was Meng Tinghui. The cast talked about how Meng Tinghui's decision shouldn't be seen as just a momentary outburst of emotion. Behind every action there are experiences, pressures, conditions, as well as the character's journey that make the decision feel reasonable. This discussion shows how the actors tried to see the characters from a more holistic point of view. For them, an emotional scene is not enough just to play with an angry, sad, or courageous expression. The actor must understand why the character got to that point. This becomes even more important when talking about scenes that involve extreme actions or big decisions. The cast revealed that they had to consider how much emotion needed to be displayed. Too little emotion can make a scene feel less powerful, while too much emotion risks making a character look out of place. Therefore, the acting process is not only related to how to make the audience get carried away. What's more important is making sure that the action actually feels like something the character would do. For the cast of Meng Tinghui, for example, a big act should feel like Meng Tinghui's own decision. It's not just the actors who are trying to create dramatic moments. The view shows great concern for character consistency. The performers want the audience to see the reason behind an action, not just enjoy the scene because it looks emotional or cool. The discussion about this also shows the pressure that actors feel during the filming process. They realize that the audience will notice the small details in a scene. The pressure is even greater because the characters they play have their own journeys and backgrounds. Each reaction must have a reason corresponding to the condition of the character at that moment. Interestingly, the cast also revealed that the audience's response was actually one of the happiest things for them. They talked about comments from netizens who not only praised the drama in general, but also analyzed the characters and scenes in great detail. There are even comments that discuss things that may have been forgotten by the player because the filming process has passed for quite a long time. For an actor, such attention has its own meaning. When the audience is able to capture the small details of a character, it means that the effort given during the acting process is successfully conveyed. They also feel good when they can communicate with the audience through acting. The audience's response becomes a kind of bridge that brings together what the actor wants to convey with how the story is received by the audience. From here, the discussion of the promotion of Royal Betrothal Part 3 then develops on the relationship between the characters. One of the relationships that attracted attention was that of Ingguang and Meng Tinghui. The cast admits that at the stage of the story they are discussing, the relationship of the two is not really at the point of appreciating each other or having deeper feelings. On the contrary, their relationship still feels like a relationship built on each other's interests and needs. Both understand each other's abilities. They know what the other party can do and how to utilize those abilities to achieve their respective goals. However, precisely because their relationship is still at such a stage, further developments are something interesting to look forward to. The players give the impression that the journey of the relationship is still long. There is still a lot that must happen before the two truly come to a stage of mutual understanding and appreciation. The discussion also shows that the chemistry between the characters does not always have to be immediately displayed as a romantic or warm relationship. In the story, closeness can also grow through conflicts, needs, cooperation, as well as the process of understanding each other. Another interesting point is the talk regarding the scene when the characters protect each other. The cast discussed how the scene gave a different feel to the characters' relationships. Protection is not only seen as a physical act, but also becomes part of how the characters begin to show a response to each other's existence. After a serious talk about the characters and the acting process, the atmosphere of the promotion again changed to a lighter one. The cast then follows various games that show their side beyond the characters. They perform group challenges that require players to hold back laughter while other players sing. The game makes the atmosphere much more crowded. The players should try to keep the expression, while other players instead try to make them laugh in order to gain an advantage in the game. The situation gets even more chaotic when they use tools that provide sensations such as electrical stimulation. The spontaneous reactions of the players become a separate source of entertainment. Some were uncomfortable, some were surprised, while others were busy teasing their friends. This kind of interaction makes the promotion feel more natural. The cast is not only seen as actors who are promoting the play, but also as a group of colleagues who are already comfortable enough to tease each other and play together. They also perform singing challenges and various language games. The most entertaining part comes when the cast tries to use various regional dialects. Some have tried Sichuan dialect, Cantonese, Minnan, and other variations. The difference in the ability to pronounce the dialect makes the players give examples and imitate each other. It is not uncommon for conversations to turn into jokes because some of the cast feel that their pronunciation is not yet perfect. However, it is precisely these spontaneous moments that make the chemistry of the players even more pronounced. Throughout the promotion, they also invited the audience several times to continue supporting the royal betrothal. They realized that the audience's attention to the drama was not only seen from the number of viewers, but also from the various forms of creation and responses that emerged after the episode aired. The cast mentions the existence of various edited videos and fan creations inspired by the story. The response is proof that the characters and stories they play have gained attention from the audience. If considered as a whole, Royal Betrothal Part 3 has two sides that go hand in hand. On the one hand, The cast shows their professional side by discussing the characters seriously. They talk about the reasons behind the characters' actions, the pressure when playing emotional scenes, as well as the importance of keeping each reaction in line with the character's journey. On the other hand, they show a much more relaxed side through various games, dances, poses, singing challenges, to dialect games. The contrast is precisely the main attraction of the promotion this time. Viewers not only get an idea of how the characters in Royal Betrothal are constructed, but can also see how the cast interacts when not fully in the role. The most interesting thing about Part 3 probably lies precisely in the recognition of the cast that they did not want to simply make the scene look dramatic. They want every character decision to have a solid foundation. In other words, when a character is angry, fighting, taking revenge, or protecting someone, the action must be felt as a result of the character's journey. This kind of understanding is what makes the Royal Betrothal Part 3 promotional discussion feel like more than just a promotional session. The cast opens up a bit about their thought processes as actors, while showing that the relationship between the characters and the audience becomes an important part of their experience. And after all these serious discussions, they again close the promotion with a light atmosphere, full of jokes and gratitude to the audience who accompanied the journey of the drama. Part 3 finally leaves the impression that behind the characters who look strong on the screen, there is a long process of understanding the emotions, choices, and lives of each character. While off-screen, the cast shows a much more relaxed relationship, flirting, laughing, playing, and enjoying time together. The combination of seriousness in building character and spontaneity in interaction is what makes the promotion of Royal Betrothal Part 3 feel even more interesting to follow.